Grand Rising. Hope one of us safe this morning and the next morning after that. I want to say something about this whole Palestine thing. People didn't think it was that bad, but I felt how bad it was. This could have been anybody's town, man. Anybody's town. People just walking around ain't shit happening. Shit ain't bad. Them people gone. The workers are getting sick with hazmat suits. Whole town and everybody who showed up there is already gone. Already gone. If you can't clean it up, what you gonna do? They're gonna declare it a wasteland. The entire town. Y'all need to wake up. It is time for y'all to wake up. Wake up. I ain't got more to say, man. I'm out. Just check the video, man. You'll see how bad it is. Ain't got no words for it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is getting very serious in East Palestine. Now, the hazmat cleanup workers are falling sick. So, how do you get the area cleaned up if these folks got on hazmat suits, covered from head to toe, and they're still getting sick? So, what is this doing to the residents that don't have any of this stuff on? And the animals are continuing to die. They're saying a state park of animals there in Ohio, they're finding dead animals every day. Ladies and gentlemen, when this story first broke back in February, towards like the end of the month, they said they had estimated that 44,000 animals in a 5-mile radius have died in Ohio. A 5-mile radius around East Palestine. And that story came out, I think, like the 23rd of February. It's got to be a lot more by now. But how do you clean up a place and your workers are getting sick and they're complaining of migraines, nausea, and they're covered from head to toe? So now cleanup is becoming a big challenge. You know, I don't, is the government that anal about just declaring an area uninhabitable? You just can't be there anymore? Wow. Workers aiding the cleanup of toxic materials at a train derailment site in Ohio are falling ill with migraines and nausea. Leaders of the nation's largest rail unions have revealed. The revelation comes in a form of a letter from labor leaders to the White House and Ohio governor on Wednesday that claimed workers have been willingly exposed to harmful chemicals at the direction of Norfolk Southern, the company that owned the derailed freighter. Within hours, the letter led to a meeting between the union heads and the transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg. So this is in Washington Wednesday. Mm. So they were talking about the ongoing problem with the cleanup and the potential repercussions. Officials confirmed Thursday that the meeting centered around potential improvements to rail safety as well as the 40 workers ordered to the cleanup site in East Palestine, Ohio, and their symptoms. And their symptoms. I mean, this to me, y'all, is ridiculous. And I have to ask, what are the risks to the workers now? You got people there saying when they breathe, they're feeling burn sensations just breathing. Then that tells me that this stuff is taking toll on your lungs. So the company has publicly promised to clean up an estimated 30,000 truckloads of toxic waste. So, and I was reading that waste that went to Houston, that Deer Park area, they said some of that was wastewater, like tons and tons of wastewater being brought into that area. So you're talking about 13,000 miles. They hauled all of that wastewater from out of there into Houston. So the toxic waste raw by the wreck while vowing to invest in East Palestine for the long term. However, workers do not believe this to be the case. According to Jonathan Long, the maintenance of way employees division of the International Brotherhood of Teamster. In the letter addressed to Buttigieg and Governor Mike DeWine directly, he said that several have accused the company of cutting costs, the cleanup effort, at the expense of workers. The union boss further revealed that of the 40 rail workers sent to the cleanup site in East Palestine last month, several have already been exhibiting um, symptoms, and they said which are sometimes associated with the chemical poisoning. I tell you what, if you're still getting sick with hazmat suits on, then there is no hope for the people. I'm just saying. So he added that his team received multiple reports that workers are not being provided the proper personal protection equipment to help clean the wreckage, nor are they being given the necessary respirators, eye protection, and protective gear. Then don't go out there and work. I'm serious. Don't go out there and work. At what point in time are you going to use common sense? You know that entire place is toxic. If Norfolk Southern is not providing the proper PPE, then you shouldn't be out there at all. You wouldn't send me out there. Oh, hell no. And they're not providing, and they know this stuff is toxic. The whole area is. Wow. I received reports that Norfolk Southern neither offered nor provided these workers with the appropriate personal protective equipment, such as respirators that are designed to permit safely working around vinyl chlorides, eye protection, and protective clothes such as chemical resistant suits, rubber overboots, and rubber gloves. Mm, mm, mm. I tell you what, I would not blame them if they said they weren't going out there to do any more work. I wouldn't blame anybody. All right. So when some of the Norfolk Southern workers inquired about the appropriateness of their personal protective equipment and the safety of the working conditions, they would receive little to no response from Norfolk Southern officials, he added. Wow. So Long went on to reveal that one worker even approached him personally after experiencing nausea and severe headaches during the cleanup effort, which has already seen about 1.8 million gallons of wastewater and 700 tons of solid waste hauled off the site. Long wrote that the worker came to him after he called his supervisor and requested to be transported off the derailment site due to concerns of his safety caused by exposure to the chemicals, which was causing him to be nausea. He was nauseous and he had severe migraines. You can't work like that. You can't be out there working like that. All right, y'all. So since that worker reported what was going on and how they felt, nobody ever got back to this worker and they just left him out on that site after speaking to a supervisor. They don't care. They don't care what happens to these workers. Wow. I mean, this is just ridiculous. So they're saying they have numerous complaints from workers aiding the cleanup, and he has been in negotiations with Norfolk Southern brass over paid sick leave, but those negotiations are going nowhere. So the union is trying to get these workers paid sick leave, but Norfolk Southern is not even really talking to the union, not talking to anybody, just blowing everybody off that's complaining about being sick. So they said a Long slammed the move as an underhanded attempt to further raise their profit and undercost the business model. Long did not specify in his exact letter how many of the 40 workers were sent to the small village near the Pennsylvania border and they fell sick. Now, from what I am understanding, damn near all of them are feeling sick. So within hours, Transportation Secretary Buttigieg, along with Joe Biden, Joe Biden has faced scrutiny for the handling of the derailment. Following the derailment last month, area residents were briefly ordered to evacuate after, the crash and everything. And, days later, they came right back to their home. And to this day, they continue to complain about symptoms. Now, like I told y'all in my other video, the EPA tried to tell them the air in their houses were okay, but not the air outside. But these folks say when they sit in their homes, they feel horrible. But when they go outside, they feel better. So that tells me whatever testing they used for, from the EPA is flawed. Your testing got to be flawed. So, mm, mm, mm. So as of now, there are no reports of anybody dying, as far as humans. Animals, yes, but humans, no. So this is not just impacting East Palestine. Apparently, the radius, like 5 miles past East Palestine, those areas, those folks are also reporting illness. I mean, this is really bad. So we shall see how they respond now that these workers are falling ill. And all right, so it's getting a little more detailed here. So the Daily Mail recently spoke to some of the residents there, and they said they are still feeling the effects of the toxic runoff, rashes, shortness of breath, headaches, burning sensation when they're breathing. That just tells me nobody should be there. Nobody should be there. At this point, what is the gain for people to remain there? I mean, this says a lot when your cleanup crew that's covered from head to toe and they're still falling ill, and nobody should be there. That's how I see it. But we shall see. One thing I do know about America, America's horrible with a disaster. They are. Look, go back and look at how America handled hurricanes. Just go look. They've always done horrible with hurricanes. Always. So now you got something way more massive that's impacting life all around that area. You think they're going to do better with this? If you can't do good with a hurricane, you're not going to do well with this. Plain and simple. You're not. But y'all, please tell me what you think. This is not good at all. About this video, please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.